Please, I can't sleep.
It's time to listen to Courtney at last on the Ramblings of an Insomniac podcast.
Hello, welcome to episode 86. If you were listening to episode 85 and it cut off randomly, I had no idea that it had cut off randomly, and I just kept talking and talking and talking, but I did not want to erase it because I don't want to say 36 minutes worth of stuff again. So I'm going to make this kind of like a part two. So also, maybe that will entice you, those of you who have not listened to episode 85. Maybe this will entice you to do so, because episode 86 is a part two. This is a sequel. This is a continuation of episode 85. So, hello, I'm Courtney Perry. Welcome to Ramblings of an Insomniac. If you have not listened to me before, sorry about the other. Well, I guess if you haven't listened to me ever, then you didn't listen to episode 85 and you did not know that it cut off weird. If you were listening to me and it cut off periodically and you're wondering why the fuck did I keep that episode, I should have redone it. I should have, been like, ooh, redo. But I also thought, if it cuts off, maybe people will be like, oh, cliffhanger. I must listen to the next one. Or people will just be like, she's just ranting and boring and I'm not going to listen to it or whatever. So if you listened to episode 85 and you are now listening to episode 86, I'm going to continue from there. And thank you, by the way, for tuning in again. Thank you for making the conscious choice to listen to me continue to ramble. All right, so I left off with California and all the sanctuary cities that have claimed and shouted from the rooftops that we should not only not have a border, a wall, but they welcome and invite all of the illegal aliens. We welcome you with open arms. Here you go, come on in. So then when they started coming into places like Texas and Arizona and stuff, all of the sanctuary cities were like, that's cool. Look, isn't this great? But when they started coming into their cities, suddenly they were like, well, this is not so great. They're taking over everything. We have no more room for our people. We have no more. I don't know where we're going to put all of these people. Well, yeah, no shit. That's kind of what everybody's been saying. That was one of the many problems that come when you just have an open border. Probably not a good idea. So when you are left to suffer the consequences of your actions, suddenly it doesn't feel so good. Suddenly you're not feeling the warm and fuzzy feeling anymore. You're feeling the, oh shit, now what are we going to do? I fucked up. But they don't think they fucked up. They're going to blame it on everybody else. I don't understand this. How can you go, hey, do not put up a wall. Do not put up a wall. Don't use guns. Allow everybody in by the thousands and thousands of thousands. How can you know for a fact and see with your eyeballs that all of these people are coming in by the thousands, know that they are drug cartel, know that they are bringing fentanyl, know that they are going to take our children, and you know all of this, but you're going to bury your head and pretend you don't know it. But how did you think that was going to play out? What in your brain made you think that that was going to make it Disneyland here? Also, why is it wrong to want to protect our border? If you lock your doors and you shut your windows and lock your windows, if you have a fence, if you have an alarm system on your home, if you lock up your own home, then fuck off if you have something against America putting up a border. And I mean a border toward Canada. I mean a border toward Mexico. I'm not just talking about Mexico. We can throw up a border and a wall. I mean a wall. We have a border, but I mean a wall for Canada too. Canada can also fuck off, because if you were going to come illegally from Canada or you're going to come illegally from Mexico, I don't care what country you're coming from. If you're not doing it legally, then go fuck yourself, because there are so many people that are trying to get into this country the legal way, and they are having to take tests and they are having to wait so that they can do it. So if you just march on in here, fuck yourself. That's shitty. And like I said, I don't care if you're Canada or Mexico. I don't care what country you're coming from. If you're doing it illegally, it's not okay. So yeah, I don't care if you're what country you're from. There's many people that are trying to come here the legal way. So point is, I firmly believe that not only should we build a wall, but we should have armed military there. So if someone tries to breach the wall, you shoot their ass. I mean that. Don't see anything wrong with it, because here's the deal. If you know that you are not supposed to cross that border, if you know, because it says everywhere and because there's a gigantic wall and military standing there, then that means don't cross this line. If you cross this line, that's at your own risk. You're choosing then to risk your life. I 100% think that we should shoot to kill anybody that tries to climb that wall. Because again, if you know, there are so many people sitting there trying to come here the legal way, and there are so many people that have been waiting. So if you know the rules, you know that there are consequences for your actions, and those people will follow through, then you certainly, guys, you most certainly should suffer consequences if you choose to break those rules. But you should suffer consequences of your actions. And I'm not sure why that's looked at as such a terrible thing. Sorry, my dogs are really loud and panting. So am I. Huh. I am winded, you guys. This is sad. It's a sad day that I am this winded from walking up my hill and stuff. But if you decide to make a conscious decision to do something illegal, then unfortunately, you are going to have to suffer consequences. And I'm sorry, but I feel it's a gigantic, huge breach of the law when you cross a border into someone else's country illegally. That's something that's a pretty damn big deal. And again, if you lock your doors and you close your windows and you have a fence or you have any type of security, then you know what? You don't get to say that other people are these terrible, horrible, no good, very bad people because they are pro wall. I mean, I guess you can think however you want to think. You can think whatever you want. But how dare you? That's being a hypocrite. And to me, there's far too much hypocrisy going on for my taste, not really understanding how people can say one thing and do another, do as I say, not as I do, and then act like they are these wonderful, amazing people. No, you are a coward who doesn't have the balls to say what you actually think, because I feel that most people say things they don't actually believe in. They just do it so that they don't get shit. Now, there are other people that don't. There are people that will say their true feelings and they genuinely don't care what other people think. And good for them. They do as they say. They say as they do. They are not hypocritical people. Now, all of us have messed up. None of us are perfect. We have all made mistakes. We have all said and done things that we're probably not proud of. But this government is deplorable. They want to talk about Trump or Trump supporters being deplorable, while this administration has completely torn this country apart and is currently trying to pretty much kill everyone. Why on earth would anybody be on board with Biden right now? It is so mind-boggling. I saw a car the other day that had stickers all over, transgender flag and all kinds of Biden stickers and rainbow stuff and Biden 2024. And I just think, really? 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 I mean, really? My mind is I can't compute this. I can't process it. I don't understand how anybody that has half of a brain cell can look at the Biden administration and see how how he has dementia, and see that he is genuinely not capable because of his dementia to be running our country and go, that's who I want as president. Love him. I love what he's doing now. And I really see hope for our future. I don't even know if he's going to be alive in 2024, let alone running our country. Like, do people not have eyes and ears? I'm just confused. People vote for someone because they're like, I'm going to vote for Hillary Clinton because she's a woman. I'm going to vote for Biden because I hate Trump. What is wrong with you? You don't vote for somebody out of spite. So you're okay with plunging our country into the ocean, just plummeting, just single-handedly causing chaos and spreading hate because you claim that Trump is hateful? You claim that Trump is an evil person while you are voting for Biden because you don't like Trump. And have you seen those videos of people going, so there are people, protesting Trump and saying how much they hate Trump. And then someone asks them, well, you hate Trump. Why? Oh, there's just many, 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 many reasons. Okay. So give me one of those reasons. What is the biggest thing that's just really ticking you off about Trump? Well, there's many things. Yeah, you mentioned there are many things. So give me an example. Just one. They can't. Well, he's a racist. Oh, okay. What has he done or said that makes him racist? Well, he's a homophobe. Okay, so he's a racist homophobe, but what are some things he has said or done that makes him a racist homophobe? Well, many things. Okay, so you're just talking in circles because you don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you were uneducated and you're a sheeple that just follows whatever everybody else is doing without actually watching and listening and computing what people are saying. You have to listen to both parties. You have to listen to the Democrats. You have to listen to the Republicans. You have to listen to the atheists. You have to listen to the Catholics. Because in order to form an opinion, you need to actually know what people stand for, what religions stand for, what your political party stands for. You need to actually educate yourself on what these groups of people stand for. You need to know. If you hate Trump, I would hope to God you actually have a reason, because I know if someone asks me why I will not vote for Biden, I have answers. I think he has dementia. I don't think that a dementia patient should be running for president. I think that he is in bed with Russia, and I think he has given too much aid to Ukraine. I think that he is, sorry, my cat is creeping up on something, and then my other cat is creeping up on him. And it's kind of a fun, anyway. But I think they're corrupt. They have been proven to be up China's ass and in cahoots. And I don't think that that's very safe or doesn't look too great. I think that his son is corrupt and he is he's helping his son be corrupt and covering up for his son's corruption. But my point is, I don't say it because I'm voting for Trump because I hate Biden. I'm voting for Trump because I just don't like Democrats. No, that isn't why. And plus, right now, I don't know if I'll vote for Trump. I might vote for DeSantis. I might vote for Vivek. By the way, I've been saying Vivek, and apparently it's Vivek, like cake. So my apologies. I stand corrected. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be Trump. I don't know if it's going to be DeSantis. I don't know if it's going to be Vivek. We will have to see what the options are, right? But if it's Trump and Biden, I'm worried. I'm very, very worried if it's Trump and Biden because so many people hate Trump that they might just vote for Biden again for the same reasons because they hate Trump, not because they even want Biden to win. But if it's DeSantis, I'm a lot more hopeful because it wouldn't be where they're just voting for Biden because they hate the Republican person. I don't know. How have we gotten to the point where it's like a popularity contest? How did we get to that point? It's disgusting. I don't understand. I don't know how we as a country has just spiraled so far. Anyway, my apologies for episode 85 and it abruptly cutting off. Like I said, I didn't even realize it. And then I didn't listen to it again. And I usually listen to my podcasts and I didn't. And so it just kind of abruptly ended. Yeah. I'm sure if people weren't listening before and decided to have that be their first episode, they were probably like, what the hell? And then now they aren't going to listen to me again because it just broke off that way. But yeah, I genuinely am hoping that we come to a point where we start making educated decisions and listening to all sides, getting all perspectives. I always say this: point of view, point of view, point of view. You watch CNN, you watch Fox, you watch all of the channels. You try to get all perspectives so that you can make an educated opinion. It can't be an educated opinion if you're only getting one side. So to claim that you want to get back to what I was talking about before, we have all of these illegal immigrants coming in and we have all these homeless people. And now that it is starting to affect these cities that claim that they are sanctuary cities, and now they're all of a sudden complaining about it, everyone's pointing fingers at whose fault it is. It doesn't matter. At this point, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. We need to figure out a solution. We need to figure out how the frick to remedy the issue. What are we going to do? Because bickering about it and continuing to talk about it certainly isn't going to work. So again, it needs to start from the city council. It needs to start from the ground up. We as people need to get involved in city council meetings. We need to start with our own city, our own town. We need to make sure we're voting not out of spite. We need to make sure that we're voting when we are educated on who is running. We need to make sure that we are getting involved. We need to make sure that we are trying to spread, that we are trying to help each other and not bury each other. Because unfortunately, the only way we're going to get our country back, as cheesy and cliche, everyone's saying this, I know everybody's saying this, but it's because it is true. It's true. The only way that we are going to get control of this country again is by all of us, the people, all the people getting together, united, and going at these politicians and holding them accountable and not voting for people because they are a woman. It doesn't matter if you're a woman. If you're not the right woman, then do not vote for her just so she can be the first female president. Also, if you don't believe in male or female, if you don't believe in gender, then you don't get to vote for a woman because she's a woman. No, 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 no. If you don't believe in male and female, then that also means you don't believe in the first woman to do whatever. Or you don't get to say the first Black woman because you can't say woman. It's just, you don't get to vote for someone because they're a man or a woman, Black or whatever. It doesn't matter what their gender or race is. It matters if they're capable of running this country and handling the issues that come with that. And I'm sorry, but a dementia patient is probably not a good candidate. Are we just going to start stopping by memory care facilities now and signing them up to run for president? Because that is exactly what we're doing right now. Joe Biden has dementia. This is just a fact. I'm sorry, it's a fact. Or he's been really doing a fantastic fucking job of acting. I don't know why he would act like he has dementia. I don't know what that would do. But I don't know about you, but I don't go to memory care facilities to pick out who's going to be running our country. And right now, our entire government is full of senile old coots. Now, I have nothing wrong against the elderly. In fact, again, if you've listened to any of my podcast or watched any of my TikTok videos, you would know that I'm very, very, very much a huge supporter of elder rights. I've worked in assisted living and memory care facilities for 10 years combined in many facets. So I have nothing but respect for elderly, and I am a huge advocate for elder rights. But that said, it doesn't mean that I want someone with dementia to run our country. If you can't, like Glenn Beck said, if you can't trust them to drive your car, if you don't feel safe with them driving, then you probably shouldn't have them have the keys and the wheel to our country, right? Lord. So those things have been keeping me up. In addition to the fact that relationships, I'm just transferring like abruptly here, just no good segue whatsoever, just going right into the other thing. And that is relationships are sometimes a struggle to the point that how do you know? At what point do you go, I don't know if this is healthy anymore? I don't know if we are good for each other anymore. I don't know if I can put out energy for this with this relationship, toward this relationship anymore. I guess when you start asking those questions is when you should start thinking about it, right? But then relationships go through rough times, and I think there's a time to call it quits, and I think there's a time to take a break maybe, and I think there's a time to just really either rely on faith if you have it, and friends and support and counseling and communication. One or all of those things are important in relationships, obviously. But I don't know, it's hard because everything is so exhausting lately. I just feel like everything is so exhausting. And I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of everything being so much effort. I know they say anything, worth it takes work. Okay, but sometimes I don't want to work it anymore. I feel like at this point in my life, putting on my shoe, I mean, this is the true story and this is so stupid, but it's like the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing. But I was already having just a not great day today, and I went to go put on my sandal and I kind of tripped. It like got me all caught up and I didn't even trip all the way. I just started to. And I know this is ridiculous. I understand that this is me being sensitive, but it sent me into this pissed off spiral. And I'm like, God, I can't even put on my shoe without it being a lot of work. I can't even put on my freaking sandal without it being some type of effort. I mean, I know putting on shoes technically takes effort, but I'm saying like even that had to be something that didn't work out. And I'm just like, God, can anything just work? I don't want to constantly have to struggle at everything. And that's where I feel like I'm at right now. I feel like life is such a struggle right now. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, but at least I'm alive. At least I'm here. At least I'm alive and can enjoy another day. I'm grateful to be able to see my sons and my grandkids and to be able to see my fiance and my animals and my friends. I am grateful for my health. I know that I've had a lot of good things in addition to the shit things. I've also had amazing opportunities. And so then I'm like, I shouldn't be complaining. I shouldn't be thinking this way. I really need to turn it around. I really need to get my shit together and start, looking at the glass as half full. But then I'm like, okay, I'm entitled though to kind of process my feelings, go through these feelings, have a pity party, have some depression and anger, as long as, like I always say, as long as I don't live there, as long as that's not where I camp out. But that's the problem. I feel like I'm camping out there lately. I feel like I'm pitching the tent and I'm just really nailing those stakes in tight because I cannot seem to get my head in a good space. And God is making me emotional. It is making me sensitive. It is making me full of anxiety, like I said in episode 85. It is making me have less and less sleep. It is causing, you know, my partner and I are struggling with some things. He's struggling with some things aside from me. I'm struggling with some things aside from him, and we are struggling together with some things. So that doesn't, lack of sleep and having these other things are not really a great recipe. They don't really go well together. I'm getting incredibly withdrawn. I don't want to even be around my own children. I don't want to be around anybody right now. I am feeling like I just want to have everyone leave me the fuck alone. I just want to be left alone. I want to go up to some out in the middle of a field and just be with nature. I want to go to a barn and be with horses and smell the hay. I want to be with nature and I want to be with animals. I don't feel like being around humans, even my own family. And then I feel like a fucking asshole. I'm like, God, I'm a dick. I don't even want to be around my own family. Like my sons didn't do anything. My sons didn't do anything. My grandsons and my grandkids, they didn't do anything. I love them. I would die for them. But I don't feel like being around anybody right now. I don't have the mental capacity to be around my friends. It is extraordinarily hard for me to go to work and have to be around our customers. I think that I'm hiding it well. And then one day, one of my customers was like, "Hey, are you okay? You don't seem like your normal, chipper, happy self." And I'm like, well, fuck, now I'm not even like hiding it well anymore. That's not good. I don't, I don't want that. I don't want to look like Eeyore. I don't want to go around hanging my head. But that's what depression is too, that you can identify that you're depressed and you can have everyone give you all the advice. You know what the solution is. But the whole point of why it's depression and not just having a bad day is that when you're depressed, having the motivation, having the energy, having the desire to fix the problem is what you're lacking. You know what you need to do. You just don't have the energy to do it. And you don't really necessarily, it's not that you don't want to, you just are like, I can't. I don't have, sorry, my neighbors are building a deck. I apologize. Gosh. But it's hard. And then that snowballs me into this whole thing where I feel like an asshole and I feel like a bad parent and I feel like a bad grandparent and I feel like a bad coworker and I feel like a bad partner and I feel like a bad friend. And then I spiral into that. And then it makes me want to force myself to be around friends and family. And then I start feeling resentful because I am having to force myself to be around them. And it's this whole fucking cycle. It is a vicious cycle that I can't seem to get out of. I'm just on one of those like roundabouts. And then I finally need to like find the offshoot. And I miss my mom. I cannot get past everything. I run through my head all the time. I run through her calling me and hearing her voice and how distressed and anxious she is and her begging me. I just cannot stop replaying that in my head. I can't get over how she was sitting there by herself with just in a corner, just alone with nobody, not her dog. She thinks that her daughter and her grandkids abandoned her. My heart is just so broken right now. And I don't know. I just don't know. I'm so sorry that I'm crying. I'm sorry. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get, like I said, I do know what to do, but I just can't seem to do it. So everybody out there, I'm so sorry if you're struggling with the same things. I'm so sorry if you can't seem to get out of that, off that hamster wheel. It's hard. It's really hard. And no amount of people telling you how much they understand, it doesn't really help. Although it's appreciated. It's very appreciated when people tell me that, or when people give me a hug or give me advice. I am grateful for it. I'm thankful for it. But unfortunately, it doesn't necessarily help. And I'm struggling. So I wanted to share my struggles. And remember, I did say again, if you listened to episode 85, I said at the very beginning that this was going to be all over the place and that you needed to buckle in because I was going to be all over the place. And I had many, many, many things I wanted to talk about. And I do. But again, I really apologize for my last episode and the way that it cut off. So I'll be sure to sign off appropriately and say, hey, take a breath, go outside, read a book, find a friend, or just go be alone. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to have a moment to yourself. It's okay to take a hot bath by yourself. It's okay to not feel like you have to be there for others because, again, like I always say, you got to take care of yourself first and then you can take care of others. Now, it is important to put others first most of the time, but sometimes you got to take care of yourself. And if you don't, well, if you're just going to spiral, be one of those people that are waving sticks on the side of the road, thinking and acting like they're guns, like I told you about the homeless person, again, like I talked about in the other episode. So you don't want that. You don't want to be rocking in the corner somewhere, which is what I feel like I'm going to do. Oh, man, you guys, I'm snotting all over the place. Snot bubbles. Okay. I'm trying to gather myself here. So, hey, thanks for listening. Thanks for caring. Thank you for being those of you that have been listening to more than one episode. You are amazeballs. So, thanks again for listening to the ramblings of an insomniac. Until next time.